What's up, bestie? At this point, we already 10 videos in on this new channel, so I could call you bestie. Can I call you bestie? All right, let me not be cringe. We are reacting to some people caught cheating or exposed. I love some petty drama. Let's see if these people are wrong or not. Do I tell my friend's wife that he's cheating on her? Yeah, I am 33 years old and I have been friends with this guy since we were toddlers. He had been married to his wife for 3 years and they have been together for 6. I know her pretty well and all the 3 of us hang out quite often, though less so after they had a kid last year. He has been telling me how thought becoming a dad has been on his marriage and how he doesn't get to spend time with his wife anymore. That's suspicious. Where is this getting? I'm neither married nor a dad, but I try to listen to him while also reminding him that this is something he should have been at least somewhat prepared for. Exactly. This is not something that you literally just like wake up and like, yeah, I'm gonna be a father, let's have children, or why not, let me marry her. This is something that you decide as a grown person. This is what you sign up for, and if you sign up for, please make your research, please do your research so that you don't get to be surprised why this one time you don't get to spend time with your wife. Maybe because she's busy with a child that you should be spending time with as well. 2 weeks ago, he asked if he can hang out at my apartments to get a break. He knew I would be at work that day, but said he just wanted to change of scenery. So I said sure, whatever. I get back from work and notice he's a bit weird. I asked him what's up and he said he has been having an affair for 3 months and had sex with his girlfriend in my home that day while I was at work. Excuse me, ew. Can you really? Why are you bringing your friend, like a family friend, into this? I get it, you've been friends when you were a toddler, but now your friend has the guilt of carrying that you cheated, and especially at his home. Get a hotel, get a room, divorce. Disgusting. I was disgusted and upset and asked him to leave. He said I wouldn't understand and I told him I didn't want to have a conversation and he left. Since that day, I have been wrestling with telling his wife. That might be such a tense situation. I can't imagine myself, but I would definitely go ahead and tell the wife. If I were you, I would tell the wife right away because I wouldn't be able to live with that guilt for the rest of my life, especially when they're having children and this happening at my home. Unacceptable. She of course deserves to know and she needs to leave him or at least have a conversation with him. But I also know she's going through a lot being a new mom and my friend already does not do much around the house or with childcare. Exactly, that is exactly what I thought. He's probably not spending time with his child and therefore is the reason why he's not spending the time with his wife. This will add to her stress and worries, and also she's an immigrant without a strong family support in this country. So that's telling me I shouldn't tell her and just let her find out when he slips up or when he feels guilt and tells her. At the moment, he's able to justify it through just twisted logic. What should I do? I want to do the right thing. I would honestly expose his ass because what do you mean? He took your house, he didn't tell you what it was the reason for, he abused your bed, excuse me, he had an affair with some random girl in your bed, and he's cheating on his wife and probably will cause PTSD for his children. Ridiculous. Yeah, I would honestly think about it whether you want to be involved, because if you do involve yourself, you would have to have a lot of those facts involved. The wife probably won't be able to believe you, but if she does, she'll probably be really stressed. Either or, you will have the guilt. So I'll probably just go ahead and like tell her, because at any case you will have the guilt. You will have the guilt of telling her and you will have the guilt of not telling her. So choose wisely, I say. This is another subreddit from Make My Choice Sucker Punch 99. Just moved in with my boyfriend, very unhappy. What should I do? Why did you move in with your boyfriend if you're unhappy? Okay, let's see. Hello, I, 25 female, moved in with my boyfriend, 25 male, of 1.5 years about a month ago. I'll be honest, I have never lived with a guy before, not even a boyfriend. And he has never lived with a significant other as well. The first almost a year of us dating was so amazing. When I met him, I automatically knew that he was going to be my husband. He is handsome, smart, funny, and has financial stability, outgoing, and he really, really liked me back. Also, some context, when I met him, I just got on a 4-year relationship, which I broke off way too late, in my opinion. I checked out probably 2 years of that relationship. My current boyfriend had all the qualities that my ex didn't have except one. I think it's also important to note that I wanted to be single for at least a year after I broke up with my ex, but of course I met my now boyfriend 2 weeks after I dumped my ex and fell head over heels, but still have some hesitation. In March of last year, his company had a reorg and he eventually lost his job. I saw a different side of him that I never had seen before, and I understand job loss is a major stress event, and I had unwavering empathy and support him during this time. I was also applying and interviewing for jobs like crazy since I wanted to get out of my job field in medicine. But also during this time, he would lash out at me over the smallest things, like leaving a bag on the table or forgetting that light was on or questioning his judgment. He would start yelling at me and he would call me stupid, saying that I lack common sense and borderline gaslight me. After he just adjusted to being unemployed, our relationship has pretty much went back to normal, except for the few fights here and there. He finally got a job a few months later at the company that I currently work at. Additionally, the election has definitely put a strain on us too, since I lean to the left and he's a Trump supporter. I love when politics gets into the relationships. It gets crazy and juicy. Which he told me he was moderate when we were first started dating. But after knowing him, most of his political views are farther right than I am comfortable with. Both of us haven't been happy since the move. We fight every week, usually the same argument. He said he is trying to control his anger, but he can't help himself. I told him that I can't be with nor marry a man who yells at me and makes me feel insecure. That's fair. That is fair. I have never had any of my previous boyfriends lash out on me like he does. I know I'm not perfect and I'm trying to do my part and improve, but it gets no recognition and it seems like he finds new things to be mad about. So Reddit, I think I know the answer here, but I need help. Do I wait a year and decide? Do I see if he tries to fix his behavior? So far, no change. Just feeling stuck and yes, stupid. I think something is going on. I don't think you should stay with this person because one, you made a mistake previously before in your relationship where you stayed for another 2 extra years trying to give the person space that they need to learn and I guess evolve from something that you wanted them to grow out of. And if you're gonna be here unhappy, then why would you want to spend the rest of the life with that person? There's no reason for that. So you definitely should leave, in my opinion. There is some problems with you guys communicating and that's a fact, and moving in with someone doesn't magically fix everything. You probably will feel trapped at some point if you keep going. So I would say leave. I, 22 female, think I need to break up with my boyfriend, 23 male, of 8 years. Woo! It's been a long time. By the way, this is my birthday. Wow, okay, where to begin? We have been dating for 8 years. We met in high school and we have been together ever since. We have grown and changed with each other miraculously, and our relationship has been amazing. We were always communicative to each other, always doted on one another, have inside jokes that are years long, and have been so comfortable with who we are as a couple. Our relationship, by all means, is a wonderful one, but I guess I wouldn't be posting here if it was so wonderful, would I? As we entered into adulthood, I just started asking bigger questions, and then I realized I wasn't really getting answers on. He has been against having kids, but I want kids. My biggest advice I received was to wait for his real answer when we were older, because I asked these questions when we were dating for 4 years. I asked him what he wanted to do with his future, where he saw himself career-wise, and what was he feeling about who he was as a person, and if he was changing and growing. To be honest, whenever we speak about these things, I always feel like it gets really quiet. He becomes shorter with his words, a lot of I don't knows. After asking questions many times, I get some answers once he's thought about it. But this scenario has been always regular for us. I'm asking bigger questions, trying to get feedback, and he gives me little answers and asks to think about them. Fair? Let's see. More context, please. More context. But he's always moved along. Next day, next season, we're happy with each other. We cuddle, we watch Netflix shows, go to ice rink, having romantic dinners, and tell each other how much we adore one another. But those questions start to bother me. Why does he not want to answer them? Why doesn't he ask those questions about me? Is it necessarily bad that he doesn't want to ask? I mean, we're only in our 20s, but we have been dating for 8 years. The toss and turn was agonizing. I felt like I was waiting for a question I asked years ago, regardless of timeline. I have felt more and more pressured to have them answered because we have been talking about marriage. When I would forget that those questions were so important to me, everything was hunky-dory. We would talk about where we would live, the animals we would have, the name of them, and the kinds of TV shows we would watch on a weekly basis. I pushed the issues I have been feeling in my core back inside because I figured if I'm a patient girlfriend, a loving one, a supportive one, our relationship will be better. How long we have stayed together is a testament to our ability to grow together. We have done it this long. Why wouldn't it continue happening? It really hasn't, guys. This last weekend, something snapped. We were looking for places to live. We had 3 appointments. I was looking around apartment, looking at the kitchen, looking at our bedroom. We kissed each other goodbye after post-appointment cuddle nap, and then I went back home. I burst out crying in the car. I was sobbing. When I got home, I called my mom. She came over. I was broken. Something died. Something straight up died. I don't know what's going on. I think we need to break up with him. I don't think this is the kind of change that I can ask him. I don't think asking him to change is fair. It's not that I haven't been patient. I have. He has been giving me answer to all of my questions. I just haven't been happy with what they are. The silence, this skirting about the topic, the I don't knows. I thought we could grow through scenarios, but moving in together put it all into perspective for me. I'm not ready to move in with this guy. This is very fair. Earlier in the year, he told me he has all right with kids, with having them too. After that conversation, such a huge flood of relief hit me, and I think I spurred this season of ignorance. He answered my big question, so I was happy. But the reality is setting in. Does he really mean that? Does he say that to appease me asking? He has told me that I'm the best thing that happened to him, and that he loves me, and that I inspire him to be the better person, and that he's happy he's with me because he wouldn't know how to date anyone else at this point since we have been together for so long. I wish he had a motivation and drive and goal for himself. I wish he thought about his future. I wish he has been more excited about life, more positive about life. I wish he wasn't so angry at people and himself. I wish he approached his problems readily and openly. I wish he was more emotionally available. I wish I knew how to do this without destroying him, because I think it will. His family would all turn on him. I know it. We have been talking about marriage. We were looking at places to live together, and I just imploded. I imploded. My gut is telling me to do this, and it's never been wrong. But how? How do I on earth do this? I'm very scared to read the update, you guys. I'm very scared. My 8-year relationship fell apart in my heart over the weekend, and now I struggle with how to break up with my boyfriend. We have been talking about marriage and moving in together. Edit. Thank you everyone so much for your comments, all of them. I read every one. I think after initial hysteria and realization of what I was feeling and putting into word, that I have come to realize what I'm truly feeling. I will post an update after this weekend when I talk to him, and I'll tell you how it goes. Okay, let's read some relevant comments because I don't think we have another update. There is an update. Okay. Oh, there's a big update, you guys. I have to read it. Do I have time? No, I don't have time. But let's read it. The big conversation happened on Friday, a day earlier I was expecting. After writing this post and speaking to trusted family friends, I decided I didn't want to wake up like I had all week feeling like shit anymore. I opened my eyes and immediately feel familiar pain in my chest. I wanted it to be over. He had been texting me normally in the week, so he hasn't been expecting this. It made it so much harder. That part wasn't easy, texting him back very painfully to avoid lying and leading him on. But I asked him if he'd like to meet on Friday. He said he would love to, so I went over in the morning after running a few errands with my brother. He drove what he called a gateway car. I love that. And he said he would pick me up when it was over. It was so hard. His family was decorating the house for Christmas. As soon as I got there, his mother asked me to help drape some garland across the front porch. I stood there with my heart in my throat, helping her out. As soon as I found a window, I walked into the house and found him in the kitchen. He was still in his pajamas. I asked if he could talk in his room, and he said sure. He wrapped me in a hug and rubbed my back, and it took everything not to cry right then. He walked up the stairs in his room. I closed the door and gave him one last huge hug in the privacy of his room. I took a breath and then asked if he could sit down. I sat crisscross and began. I told him that I had been in so much pain since we came back after looking at places to live together in. I told him I felt like there was something wrong with our relationship, and that I had been moving together was the right choice for us. Ultimately, committing to each other wasn't the right choice for me. I told him that I wasn't able to commit in that way. When the choice came, I told him that it wasn't a smooth transition, that this decision came to me all at once like a freight train. I told him that I was sorry. He asked me why I was doing this. He looked at me absolutely shocked. He told me he thought everything was perfect and he didn't understand why I was saying this. He had asked me where we should go from here. I told him I wanted to talk this out since we have been together for so long. I told him I wasn't going to waver in decision because I felt like this is the right choice to make, but I wanted to talk it out first. Instead, he went into his dresser, got out of his pajamas and got to change of clothes, grabbed his backpack and left. His mother asked him for more Christmas help, but as far as I knew, he walked by her. I sat in the shock, and I guess before he left, he said, "See you Saturday," because our friends were having a Friendsgiving. I could feel the hysteria come on. It was like a tidal wave. The reality of what I have just done. It was like a very elegant, composed, logical reason I had for breaking up went right out of the window. Every graceful approach I was going to take this conversation in blinked on me. It is always works out better in the head, right? It never works out better when it's actually in person. Just always goes wrong, especially when you don't know how the other person will react. I understand. I was simply honest and raw, and now I felt like the shittiest person I've ever known. I got my shoes on and flew down the stairs. His mother was asking me for more Christmas help, but in the first time in years I ignored her and ran out of the door. I was walking away from his house. After I reached the street, she came outside. I could hear her steps behind me. She called out my name, and with the same urgency that you call out when someone as if they forgot something in the house. I didn't turn around. She called out my name again, louder, and I rounded the corner towards the rest of the neighborhood. And then I called my brother and asked him to pick me up. He was there in 2 seconds. The car was still moving as I opened the door and slid inside, and I was out of there. That was by far the hardest thing I have ever made. I was sobbing. My brother held my hand. It was loud, heartbreaking sobbing. I can't believe I had ended a 8-year relationship, but I did. They all comforted me, though it told me their breakup stories of their first loves. That was sad. That was Friday. Today, Monday, I have to say, it was the absolutely correct decision for me to make. After the initial tears, hysteria, destruction, I realized I needed to make a decision for a long time. I feel fuller in a way, if that makes sense. I'm excited for what's come to me. Thank you all for your kind wisdom, your insights, your support. I really appreciate all of your comments. I read them a few times a day to give me strength in down moments to other side of this, and I appreciate your input. Okay, this was really complicated. It took me a very long time to read it. It is a long story, but it's a really juicy one. I am so happy that this was the correct decision for you. This seems like a very tough situation, especially I think if I was in that situation, and I was, it's just so hard. It is just so hard. I know how it feels physically, and all power to you for making it through. I'm really glad that this happened, and you will have so many more things coming to your way. You just wait. You're so mature for 22, and I'm 23, but you're so mature for 22. So this is super cool. Although you're probably obviously older than me because this was 2017 and it's 2025 and I'm 23. So yeah. All right, you guys, this was a really nice and full story. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. If you have any stories that you want me to read, let me know in the comments below. I would love to cover it, but I will be seeing you on my next video. So for now, goodbye.